From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. In the flood-ravaged heart of Texas Hill Country, the wreckage remains staggering more than 10 days after catastrophic flooding on July 4th. The Guadalupe River rose 27 feet in under an hour, swallowing towns like Kerrville, Hunt, and Center Point. The death toll has reached 132, with 106 fatalities recorded in Kerr County alone. At least 101 people are still missing, many of them tourists, with no formal check-ins, no records, and no clear trail. Recovery teams, including local deputies, state officials, out-of-state crews, and hundreds of trained volunteers, are out every day working in dangerous, neck-deep waters filled with twisted debris, chemical runoff, and snakes. The search zones are physically brutal and emotionally charged. A 42-person volunteer team from Fundación 911 has spent days combing massive debris piles, and they've seen a host of personal items 30 feet up in trees, like clothing, chairs, toys. Kerr County's sheriff said during a Monday commissioners' meeting that recovery efforts could stretch on for as long as 6 months, but it is impossible to say for certain. Texas Governor Greg Abbott called the ongoing operation unrelenting during a press conference on July 14th, emphasizing that the state's top priority is saving lives, recovering the loss, and stabilizing communities in the aftermath. Continued thunderstorms last weekend triggered flash flood watches across the region, forcing volunteers in Kerrville to temporarily retreat to higher ground. River gauges across central Texas jumped up to 30 feet in hours. Search efforts paused, then resumed. Many of those still missing are believed to be tourists drawn to the hill country for the holiday weekend. They were not logged at hotels or campsites. At one point, the list of missing stood at 161. Days later, it dropped to 101. And the drop in the number of people listed as missing does not necessarily mean fewer lives were lost. In the aftermath of a mass casualty event, it is common for the missing count to fluctuate as information is sorted out. Some people are later confirmed dead, others check in with family, are located by authorities, or were never in danger but had no way to report their whereabouts. In the early chaos, names are often added to the list from concerned friends, duplicated across databases, or mistakenly marked as missing when they've already been identified. Travis County officials recently reduced their own missing count from 10 to 4 after realizing some individuals appeared on both the missing and confirmed dead lists. July in Texas is unforgiving. As the days stretch on, so too does the heat. AccuWeather real field temperatures have surged past 100 across the region, forcing search crews to hydrate constantly, rotate shifts, and take shelter when they can. Even the dogs, many deployed from out-of-state canine units, are beginning to wear down. But still, the work continues. Recovery crews in wetsuits wade through waist-high sludge under a blistering sun. They lift waterlogged debris by hand. Others use excavators to claw through the banks of the Guadalupe. Photos from the Center Point Volunteer Fire Department showed workers buried to their necks in flood wreckage, driven by urgency, reverence, and maybe something deeper. The work begins when cadaver dogs pick up the scent of human remains, giving what handlers call a positive mark. Canine units sniff out scent trails atop mountains of wreckage, waterlogged vehicles, snapped trees, torn fencing, propane tanks. Along the banks of the Guadalupe River, the process repeats again and again. The river winds for 40 miles through Kerr County, where nearly 100 people have died, including 36 children. The debris trail continues for miles downstream into Kendall County, where additional bodies have been recovered. Among the dead are not only people, but livestock and other animals swept away by the floodwaters. Drier weather settling into central Texas on Wednesday is likely to stick around through the end of the week to bring several days of mostly rain-free weather for rescue and recovery efforts. But the drier conditions come at a cost. With more sunshine, high temperatures are likely to rise for the second half of the week. That's all for now. You can find more regional forecasts and science-based articles at AccuWeather.com. And for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.